Are you experiencing chronic gut issues? Perhaps you've tried every probiotic that's come your way, or you've tried every gut protocol, you've treated parasites, and you just can't seem to resolve your issues. Well, today we're going to dive into 4 ways that you can truly help to heal your gut. My name is Dr. Ariane Missimer. I'm a functional medicine practitioner, doctor of physical therapy, registered dietitian, and owner of the Movement Paradigm Integrative Health Center. And I'm super passionate about talking about this because I treat so many chronic gut conditions, and I have also experienced it myself. So one of the things that I think is really imperative is believing in your body's innate capacity to heal. Is that no one or no supplement is going to fix you. The only person that can fix you is you. And I think that's really important, that you don't need to depend on someone or depend on something, that ultimately you have this capacity within you. So let's get into number 1, which is a perfect segue, which is the nervous system. Is when we are in a constant fight or flight, when we are fearful of what we are eating and how it's going to affect us, when we don't know if we're going to wake up the next day and have diarrhea or constipation, or are we going to have reflux or pain, we're in this constant sympathetic state or survival state. And digestion is going to slow, motility is going to slow, our immune capacity and responses are decreasing. So one of the most important things that I see repeatedly in all of the patients that I work with is being able to focus on healing your nervous system, being able to focus on shifting your state from that fight or flight or even freeze state to a state of connection, a state of rest and digest. And we're going to talk about digestion in a moment, but this could look very different for each person. So for one person, it may mean that you might need to do some therapy or counseling. For another person, you might need somatic work. For another person, it might be integrating breath work and meditation into your life. It could be social connection, but it's really understanding your nervous system. And please make sure to check out all my other videos on the nervous system, mapping your nervous system, the polyvagal theory, and so on, so you can really understand this at a deep level. But this has to be priority, because the only way we can heal is if we are in a safe place. And that begins with really understanding where you are right now and how to shift your nervous system to a state that allows you to truly heal. Number 2 is digestion. So you can definitely check out all of my other videos on digestion as well. But think of the key things as I just mentioned. If we are in a fight or flight, we have blood flow moving away from the digestive tract. One of the key things I see all the time is that we have maldigestion. So that means there's either decreased stomach acid, decreased pancreatic enzymes, decreased bile production. And so we are not digesting our food well, which creates a downstream effect into the intestines that can create a bacterial overgrowth, that can create a fungal overgrowth, that can create leaky gut. And so one of the things that you can think of is limiting water or fluids around your meals. So ideally 15 minutes before, 15 minutes after, and during. You can focus on breathing. So 3 diaphragmatic breaths before you eat, bringing yourself to that parasympathetic state. Chewing your food 20 to 30 times, which is the hardest one, and a little bit of movement afterwards. A short walk is perfect to help really optimize that digestion process. Number 3 is testing. So trying to really understand why you have gut issues is really imperative. Now, sometimes a lot of it can be related to nervous system dysregulation, but we still want to understand at a deeper level what might be happening. So do you have a chronic colonization of a pathogen? Do you have H. pylori, which is present in 50% of the population? Do you have dysbiosis, an imbalance of bacteria, beneficial and opportunistic bacteria, which creates inflammation and can even contribute to autoimmune disease? How is your digestion, as I just mentioned? Are you digesting your food well? Do you have poor or low pancreatic elastase? Do you have increased fat in your stool? How is the immune system of the gut? We can look at your secretory IgA. Do you have antibodies to gluten, for example? Do you have any potential allergies? Do you have leaky gut? All of these things we can determine with comprehensive stool testing. We can look at SIBO testing, which is breath testing. And we can look at actually a variety of other tests to really be definitive on what is happening and why it is happening, so that you don't continue to go down the path of different protocols and different supplements, and you actually really understand what you're doing, how to treat it systematically, which is really important, and working with the right provider to help you do that in a way that is not overwhelming, which is equally as important because we want to respect the nervous system. And lastly is nutrient repletion. So I realize more than anyone that sometimes there is a time where we have to eliminate certain foods, and you have to consider a therapeutic food plan for a short amount of time, not forever. However, we want to be thinking about how can we really optimize our nutrient intake. That is how we really can heal and thrive. And so when we begin to eliminate, because everything we're reactive to, we realize that there's a core issue. Well, oftentimes that's increased intestinal permeability, i.e. leaky gut. And that is the reason that you are so reactive to so many different foods. But if everything is done in a very systematic way, we might have to take things out temporarily, but with the goal always in mind of trying to eat to support your body's needs. We want to think about all the essential nutrients that we need, including water, including our vitamins and minerals, our macronutrients, and really begin to utilize these in your diet and slowly improve them, because we often think about we should just feel good just because, and ultimately, these nutrients are what help fuel our body to support our day-to-day lives. So I love coming at it through a mindset of how can we get more good things in our diet versus how can we take everything out of our diet. Sometimes you need to be creative, and that's okay. So with all of that said, there's 4 easy tips, and I recognize that you might be thinking, if you're experiencing chronic gut issues, that, oh, that hasn't worked for me. But I always encourage you to take a step back, have a beginner's mind, and look at this through the lens of recognizing that your body is designed to heal. And sometimes we need to give it the right input because it doesn't have the right input. But when you start with the nervous system in mind first, and the mental, emotional, spiritual, and you begin to give your body actually what it needs and nurture your body, then you can be on a path to really healing. And if this was helpful, I hope that it was. I encourage you to give it a like, give it a share. I'd love to hear your comments if you've been on this path and you'd love to share. Always open to hear those. And if you need help on your individual journey, if you're interested in really getting to the root of why things are happening, please reach out to us. Do a discovery session. We would love the opportunity to connect with you. And you could always join our app, The Movement Paradigm, which is on Google and Apple. And we have a great community. We have whole body health that's accessible to everyone. And we have challenges on mindset, nutrition, movement. We have lots of great information. So one way or another, I hope to see you. Thanks.